Okay, so the A group of climates are tropical climates. We have tropical wet, tropical monsoonal, and tropical wet and dry, otherwise known as savanna, AF, AM, and AW. So that in general is how we take a main climate and break it up, in this case, into three kind of subclimates, or three climates for off of this one main climate. Now, tropical climates are kind of centered around, I said, the equator, but more specifically, they're directly affected by the intertropical convergence zone, ITCZ, that we talked about earlier in this course. One of the things about the intertropical convergence zone is we talked about is that it kind of wanders seasonally. During the summer months in the northern hemisphere, it wanders north. During the summer months in the southern hemisphere, it wanders south. So the intertropical convergence zone, and actually we said by definition what a monsoon is it's a seasonal variation in precipitation due to the movement of this global band, the intertropical convergence zone. So down here we have these cool little boxes that show climate diagrams for three different locations. The first one is showing you a tropical wet climate, the second one a tropical monsoonal, and the third one a tropical wet dry or savanna. And what the blue bars are showing you is precipitation throughout the year, starting January, February, March, April, blah, 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 all the way through December. That's what the blue bars, so the taller the bar, the more the rain that's received. And so here on the right, you can read how much rainfall is received in that particular month. So these tropical wet climates, notice they receive a lot of rain throughout the year. Then we go on to tropical monsoonal climates, or AM climates, and they receive, by definition, they must have a season that they get a lot of rain, and then they have a dry season. So you can kind of see that with the blue bars, where they receive a lot of rain. Looks like starting in May all the way through October, and then the rain kind of slows down. Now the red line up here on these climate diagrams is showing you throughout the year what sort of temperature they have going on. So actually for these two, for AF and AM, the vegetation is very similar. Then we get over here to AW type climates, tropical wet and dry or savanna type climates, and they have a very, very dry season, a longer dry season, and you're going to see that savannas are pushing kind of a desertish sort of look to them. So there you go. And here are some photographs to go with those climates. Up here, I mentioned that the vegetation associated with AF and AM is similar. So excuse that phone. So that is what we're seeing here. I mentioned the tropical savanna is similar to kind of almost a desert sort of look. And so that's what we've got going on here. And then this is a figure from your textbook to show you that wandering intertropical convergence zone. And the top one is northern hemisphere is experiencing summer. The bottom one is the southern hemisphere is experiencing summer. This one up here is showing you generally what the rainfall, what precipitation is like in these wet climates or AF climates. And notice that looks like about 1 or so, 2 or so you get dumped on with regard to rainfall. The rain happens all day long into the evening, kind of dying down about midnight, and then morning you don't have rainfall, and then it starts up again about 1 or 2. I think that's interesting. So we'll go ahead and go to the next climate, which is the dry climate. Now, A climates are most influenced by the intertropical convergence zone, and actually B climates are where the Hadley cell is descending. So I don't know if you guys remember, but we said there's a Hadley cell in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, and it descends about 10 to 30 degrees north and south latitude. And where that descending air is, as the air descends, it tends to create these high pressures, and it tends to be dry. And so these B climates are our dry climates. Now there are 4 subcategories of these B dry climates, and this is kind of where I start to just kind of say, you know, if you want to know more about it, read your textbook or that sort of thing. But these tend to be dry climates. I'm introducing the term called steppe. A steppe climate has a little more vegetation than a desert type of climate. Steppe climates, transition zones between deserts and non-deserts. So here are some climate diagrams for the B-type climates. So of course, you know, precipitation is less than the A-type climates significantly. The other thing is, notice the red line. It has a lot more height and depth to it. That red line is showing you temperature throughout the year. The temperature swings a lot more in these climates than it did in the climates along the intertropical convergence zone. Okay, so I have just a few photos. This one is showing you specifically, this is a B-type, a BWH, subtropical desert above. This one right here actually is in one of Chile's deserts, to me it really looks like the planet Mars. Then down here, showing you the region on the windward side of the Sierra Mountains and on the leeward side of the Sierra Mountains. Definitely different climates on either side of the mountains.